Hey Jill, I've got a dilemma. My wife passed away last year after fighting cancer for 3 years. At that time, I decided that I was done. I weren't bothered about me anymore. I just needed to make sure my children and my grandson were okay. Earlier this year, I was sat down and having a bit of a think like you do. And I sort of realised when I was going through my children one by one that they're actually making okay progress. But that pointed the mirror back in my face, and it made me realise just how alone I am. Being an actual performer, I had to stop when my wife got sick, because obviously she was my world. She's way more important than anything I was doing. Knowing that there's certain parts of my life that are over and never coming back is really difficult. I've never been a depressive kind of person. I'm a people person, but when I'm with people, I don't want to be with them anymore. I just want to be on my own. Anyway, sorry about it. I hope I've not put you on a downer, Joe. I look forward to listening to your podcast. Yeah, you made me smile. Thanks, Petal.
Oh, John, I'm so sorry to hear about your wife. And I wish you'd given me her name as well, because I really want to say her name. I think it's really important to say the names of the people we've lost again and again and again. I think it's nice to make them live and breathe and be in our conversation. I totally hear what you're saying. I understand where you're coming from completely. I really do. When I lost my partner, it's funny, isn't it? People are so kind and they want to reach out and they want to be with you. But I think for a certain amount of time, and that is very dependent on how you approach things, I think being on your own and being in nature and stillness is really important. I think the rawness and the desperation of how you're feeling, and certainly how I felt, meant that wherever I was, I didn't quite feel right. It didn't matter if I was in, a room with my family or a room with friends. I just thought it's so isolating, grief, because what it makes you think is no one knows what I'm thinking. No one knows how I'm feeling. No one could possibly understand this. I don't think that's true. I think people can understand it. And what I would say to you was, take the time out to be on your own. Go for long, long walks. Have a really good cry. Put on the music that you and your partner used to listen to and just let it out. But also find someone in your life who you really trust and who can talk to you really openly and tell them how you're feeling. You only need one person. I had a person and she was wonderful. And I write about it a lot in my book, about how there's certain people who can get you through that really tricky, heavy, desperate stage of grief. And you will find yourself. You will, honestly. You will look back on this and you'll see how lost you felt, but you will get to a point where you start finding yourself again, but you have to let it out. You've probably been focusing on your kids and focusing on just surviving and living. And now you need to go back inside and you need to think and you need to grieve and you need to just let all that love pour out and you'll start to feel better again. But, call back in a few months' time and let us know how you're doing. But until then, I'm sending you loads of love.
Jill, I'm really interested in hearing a little bit about your process through that and how you can give advice, because like other people, you relate.
Mm-hmm. I know it sounds weird to say just feel it, because people say, but how do I feel it? I just think that grief is really scary. And what a lot of us grievers do is we try and do anything we can to not feel the way we're feeling. It's so uncomfortable and so desolate and scary that you think, I've got to go out, I've got to do something, I've got to keep busy, or I can't look people in the eye. There's so many things you're trying not to do. And I think what you got to try and do is just allow it all to happen. And even if you're chatting to a workmate and you're in the middle of a conversation, you just say, I'm really sorry, but I think I'm going to burst into tears, or I'm having a horrible morning. I'm going to have to go for a walk. I'll see you in 5 minutes. Just be honest. Like, don't be afraid of the feelings. Don't push grief into a corner and make it a big bad monster. It's not trying to hurt you. It's honestly trying to help you. It's trying to teach you things. And you sort of have to treat it as a friend and say, right, come and sit here with me now and talk to me. What is it you want from me today? And that's what I started doing. I just started sort of almost having a conversation with grief and just saying, what do you want from me, and what can I learn from you today? And it's comforting. It's comforting when you start to connect with it rather than run away from it.